Many pieces to the puzzle. I will show them to you and reveal my glory through you to the nations. My child, know this, the last days are of suffering and terror. Such terror has never been known before. Those of old, the Anak, will walk and control the earth. They will commit and enforce evil of every kind, and when I return there will be more of them than man left. Woe, woe. Give them the warnings of terror to come, so they will find peace and strength in me. For I shall lose nothing given to me. Those in my hands are mine. Many will be tested, but they are mine, to be refined in the fire and then set gloriously in my light. Tell them, child, tell them no one could even begin to imagine the horrors that are coming. Your safety and refuge are within me. Tell them. And, it was the mixing of fallen angel and alien with human DNA that had initially led to the giantism defect in the DNA of the hybrid offspring and an eventual almost complete contamination of not only the human DNA, but the animals as well. By the time Yahweh destroyed the world back in Noah's day with a flood because of all this contamination, only one family on earth was left with pure human DNA. And but even after that, like I've said, the Watchers kept revolting, and they're still doing it to this day. What we're going to do is take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back, folks.
A revolution.
This is the Reality Radio Network on Telstar 5 Transponder 5 and on the internet at realityradionetwork.com. Is the Reality Radio Network on Telstar 5 Transponder 5 and on the internet at realityradionetwork.com.
And now back to Sherry.
And welcome back, folks. Let's get back to what I've been talking about. I'm going to finish it up this half hour. And how all of these races and all this hybridization and the Serpent seed line and the Kenites and the Edomites and all of them working together under one umbrella, under one roof, to bring the Antichrist to power. And why there is such a war today against all of these races, against the one race that belongs to Yahweh, His believers. As far as the Illuminati goes, the Illuminati today are Nephilim. They are the same hybrid lines of the Nephilim of the past. The only difference being they don't have the giantism defect that they originally had back in Noah's day. Mutations of their DNA over the generations negated the giantism defect, allowing them to infiltrate with other nations undetected. Many of them infiltrated and intermarried with the surrounding races to contaminate human DNA. At the same time, a select few of the Nephilim were kept aside to keep their DNA pure and uncontaminated from strictly human DNA. To keep it pure, they intermarried between themselves. Just as Yahweh would have a pure, uncontaminated seed line, so would Lucifer and the Nephilim. The parents of these Nephilim children in charge of keeping certain lines uncontaminated would become their controllers. These controllers, working through behind the scenes today, represent these 13 Illuminati bloodlines and rule through these families. These controllers are but a faction of Lucifer's kingdom. controlling world governments through their children. The New World Order is a vast network of organizations and secret societies encompassing government and religion. Like the New Age movement, it is a vast network of loose conglomerates, all working together to bring about a common cause. In this instance, the New World Order network is working to bring about one world government, where the New Age is bringing about a new world religion of pantheism. In other words, there is a council of aliens who rule the earth through their children, whom they have placed to dominate the banking, marketing, corporations, and governments. And these are the ones we call the Illuminati. The Bible calls them the Nephilim. This group of children will dominate in every generation through banking and politics, money, and political power. And they have. Ever since the beginning, going through various name changes, and today they're called the Illuminati. It is the Illuminati is a very secretive group of occult practitioners who have been around for thousands and thousands of years. And like I said, this is the distinct, out of all the madness that I've described, out of all the hybridization of offsprings, one pure seed line of them was kept off to the side. And that is who I'm referring to now. This one pure seed line kept off to the side, called the Illuminati. The Illuminati is not a boys and girls club. What it is a well-structured organization consisting of people in extremely high places, the super wealthy, who stand above every law. Many of them don't even appear on the list of the wealthiest people in the world. It's that secret. These people are the top players on the international playground, basically belonging to the 13 of the wealthiest families in the world, and they are the men who rule the world from behind the scenes. They are the black nobility, the decision makers who make up the rules for presidents and governments to follow, and they are often held away from public scrutiny as their actions can't stand to be scrutinized. Their bloodlines go back thousands and thousands of years, and they are very careful with keeping these bloodlines pure from generation to generation. And the only way to do so is by interbreeding. And they only marry amongst themselves. Their power lies in the occult and in the economy. Their money gives them the power they need to control the world. They own all the international banks, the oil businesses, the most powerful businesses of industry and trade. They infiltrate politics, and they own most governments, or at least control them. And an example of this is the American presidency. It's no secret that anyone who gets elected to the American presidency is one of them. Since the inception, only those who have ever come to power had to be of this Illuminati bloodline. And you'll see that most of our presidents are related, that there never is a contest between right and left. Democrat and Republicans, whoever it is that's chosen, is always one of their own. So it doesn't matter who wins for them, Democrat or Republican, they're going to have this right bloodline, this seed line. So elections in America have always been pretty much a joke, because they've always been controlled behind the scenes. The only two people that are ever going to make it to the top to where Americans can vote on them, they're just voting on one over the other, but they're either candidate is of this bloodline. The president doesn't run the game here. The power of the Illuminati doesn't lie with politicians. It lies within them. Mostly the top international bankers, the leading candidates for presidency, are carefully chosen from the occult bloodlines of the 13 Illuminati families. And if you research all the presidents of the United States from the beginning up to now, almost every one of them come from this what they call royal bloodline, that we would call satanic bloodline. And they're related by ancestry and family trees. If you look at Cheney, he's the 5th cousin of Bush. And if you look at John Kerry, he was the 1st or 2nd cousin of Bush. And they're all related. You can go back down through every president we've had.